Hello. So I'm gonna read 5 different comics from 5 of some of the top publishers in the game right now. One from Marvel, DC, Image, IDW and Boom Studios. And you can argue all day with me about how these aren't the top 5 publishers or whatever, but leave me alone. The rules are, they had to start coming out in 2024, or else the bulk of the series had to come out in 2024. Comic publishers these days release a lot of comics compared to the last few years, and that's without even mentioning online comics. But we won't get into them right now, maybe a different day. I want to go through and dig out the best the industry has to offer, and promote good storytelling and amazing artwork to whoever may watch this video. My goal is to say at least some positive things about each comic. I don't like being negative about the medium because it does bring me joy at the end of the day. I enjoy when I read amazing stories, and I'm sure you do too. So if I can't say anything positive about a book, the challenge has failed. I will also be giving each book a rating out of 10 and telling you whether you should avoid or get stuck into it. So with all that out of the way, let's get into this first book. First up is Boom Studios with I Heart Skullcrusher. This series is such a fun read. It stands out with its unique blend of engaging humour mixed with a post-apocalyptic setting. The story follows 18-year-old Trini, who wants nothing more in the world than to compete in her favourite sport, screaming paintball, alongside her hero / her literal will to live, Skullcrusher. In a world where water and murder is its only currency, our protagonist ignores the status quo and lives life like she isn't on the verge of dying of dehydration every single day. The rules of screaming paintball are as follows. Using only your lower body, move the ball from your side into the opponent's goal. Sounds pretty easy, right? Nope. Also, every player is armed and everyone can murder everyone. If you get the ball into the goalie's square without dying, you get 3 points. And if you get it into the actual goal, you get 5. Murdering an opposing player who has the ball gets you 1 point. But you can't just go murdering willy-nilly, because if a player doesn't have the ball, you lose 2 points. But you can use that tactically if one of the other players is just too good. You can get him gone. Now if you're looking at these panels thinking this book feels familiar, well don't worry, I got that sense too. The artwork is a mix of like an American style comic / manga anime type style. And I love manga and anime also, so it was a delightful little surprise. It's a true underdog story about a ragtag team of nobodies who has to pull together and work as a team to survive their bloodthirsty opponents. Each match is filled with colourful characters our team has to overcome, each one a new challenge for the unlikely heroes. Because of their inexperience, they rely less on skill and more on plans and tactics to win their games and trick their opponents, making Trini an infamous hero among the Wastelanders, but also putting a target on her back from the highest ranked players in the game. After the first story arc is done, the world building begins to expand and unleash a new look at this universe, only leading to more secrets and more questions you'll want answered, and pulling at your heartstrings, grounding the story at the same time. I've seen some people compare it to Mad Max in setting, or story and art wise it takes a few pages from Scott Pilgrim, and I would say that artists / writers definitely use these as inspiration. It's pretty evident. Overall, if you're looking for a quick, fun read, with only 7 issues out right now as I'm recording this video, throw some of your TikTok riddled attention span towards I Heart Skullcrusher. Its dynamic artwork and funny humour makes it stand out among the rest. I'd give I Heart Skullcrusher an 8 out of 10, and the only reason it doesn't have a higher score is because it's not finished yet, but if they stick to landing with the direction they're going, it could be an all-timer in my opinion. And next up is IDW with Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Samantha Strong is an adorable brown bear living in a quaint, quiet town of Woodbrook. She's worked hard to build herself a cozy little life there, with a striving business in a community surrounded by friendly fellow animal folk. The aroma of cedar trees and freshly baked apple pies fill the air daily, but Samantha has been keeping a secret for the last 20 years. Every so often she travels to a big city, away from her cozy home, to take part in her favourite hobby, murder. Samantha has one strict rule: do not murder the locals. The last thing she wants to do is disturb the peace in her small town. But when one of Woodbrook's own meets a grisly and mysterious demise in front of the whole town, she takes it upon herself to hunt her new rival before the town self-destructs and starts to notice the wrong serial killer. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees is a real standout this year for me. Its ability to mix genres and play on everyone's preconceived notion of what the tale might be is nothing short of brilliant. The unique styles blend together perfectly, when they really shouldn't. The warmth you feel when you're faced with cuddly, friendly animals is akin to that of Winnie the Pooh, mixed with the horrifying visuals of these same animals killing in the most gruesome ways possible. It's outstanding. The juxtaposition of the plot is a standout, but I can't let the murder mystery / detective aspect of the plot go unnoticed either. One minute it turns from a friendly, seemingly kids book to a murder mystery, something like the Batman stories of old. I seen someone online say it's like Animal Crossing meets Dexter, and I can't describe it any better. I'd recommend Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees to people who can appreciate a good horror / murder mystery, also to people who have grown up with those warm cuddly animals in childhood shows or books that might want a bit more from them, a more adult version you might say. Overall, I'd give Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees a 9 out of 10. The story is finished, and with only 6 issues, encompassing the entire full story, it's a very quick read, so if you have an hour to yourself, I'd say sit back and relax and enjoy this unorthodox tale of when charming meets chilling in the most entertaining way. Next up is Image Comics with Transformers. Now what can I say about this book? Transformers by Daniel Warren Johnson has been 2024's biggest breakout success, I would say. Yes, I know it came out at the end of 2023, but the majority of the series released in 2024. Daniel Warren Johnson, along with Dan Mora and Jorge Jimenez, are my favourite artists right now, and Johnson really flexes his talent in this one. Along with being the sole writer of this book, he really shows why he's one of the best and most sought after talents in the business right now. From its dynamic and visceral action sequences to its character development and emotional depth, this story, even if you don't care about Transformers, is one for the ages. The art in this book is next level. In my opinion, it blends the style of like old Transformers cartoons mixed with modern day battle shonens. You feel every impact, every punch. The kinetic energy is electric in the pages. This is the type of style Johnson has mastered over the years with series like Beta Ray Bill and Do a Powerbomb. He has Optimus Prime doing wrestling moves like suplexes and clotheslines, for God's sake. It's just so fucking sick. But I say all that not just to say it's a good action book, but Johnson's talent as a writer shines through. His integration of human characters into the story is superb. He gives them importance in the story, so both Autobots and humans feel like they need to be there, and they develop while relying on each other. He's not just writing cool action set pieces, he's putting on a show for everyone to see what modern writing could and should be. His fresh perspective on the impact of the war between Earth's inhabitants and the Cybertronians stranded there is passionately engaging. It has the right amount of emotional weight to ground the narrative, even though it's about giant space Apache robot helicopters wielding battle axes and cutting each other to pieces. It's just so good. In conclusion, what Johnson has done to revitalise such a beloved series is nothing short of genius. Whether you're a long-time fan of Transformers or if this is your first time getting to know them, you'll read every issue wanting more and more. And I think that's what comics is all about, and what everyone should aim to do. I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. It hasn't got a 10 because it's not finished yet, but so far it's been a blast. You need to catch up before you miss out on one of the books of the decade, in my opinion. Next up, we have DC with Lobo's Cancellation special. Now I know what you're thinking, Johnny, that's just a one-shot. And yes, I'm well aware of that. I was going to do Birds of Prey because I was really enjoying that series, but the last few arcs haven't really been the best. It started off amazing, but right now, I'm not the biggest fan. But this has genuinely been my favourite DC book of the year. Even though it's short, it's filled with everything I love in comics. The plot follows Lobo as he embarks on a mission after everyone presumed him dead. He was stuck on some backwater planet with no technology to get him away. Right now he has to go rescue a kidnapped princess, and along the way, well, Lobo happens. The mix of violence and Lobo's own brand of comedy makes this one of my favourite reads of the year. I even did a video about it on my channel if you want to go check that out. The story's attitude reminds me of the Lobo from the 90s. From its intense over-the-top action scenes to its surprising heartfelt moments, this one-shot keeps you dying to read the next page as you go along. I seen one review say it's a big, messy, violent and hilarious mess. And I really couldn't agree more. Lobo's cancellation policy successfully revives the main man's legacy, just in time to be cast in the new Supergirl movie with James Gunn, and none other than Jason Momoa playing him, which I think is the perfect casting. Overall, I'd give this comic an 8 out of 10. It's short but fun, and that's all I really look for in a comic. Can I enjoy it, and will I feel like my time has been well spent? And both answers are 100% yes. And lastly, we have Marvel with Avengers Twilight. Now I know what you're saying. What about Ultimate Spider-Man? That's the best series Marvel has this year. And I do agree, it's top quality. I love anything Jonathan Hickman does, but the story hasn't really pushed on yet. The writing and art is top tier. It's what we all want from a Spider-Man book, and it's definitely going in the right direction. But right now, nothing huge has happened yet for me to put it there, and I don't doubt it will be amazing. But right now, it's not there for me yet. Avengers Twilight takes place in a dystopian future where superheroes have become obsolete and largely forgotten. The story focuses on an aging Steve Rogers, who has retired from his heroic life. However, when a new threat emerges, Rogers is drawn back into action, navigating a world where ideals of heroism and justice have faded. As Steve uncovers dark secrets and confronts the grim state of the Marvel Universe. The series explores themes of resilience, hope, and what it means to be a hero in a world that has lost its way. It's a tale of redemption and legacy as Captain America strives to reignite hope in a broken society. The story is written by Chip Zdarsky, one of the best talents Marvel has to offer these days. And when he's on form, you're in for a treat. Just like his past Daredevil run, Chip takes your favourite characters from Marvel mythos, ages them up about 20 to 30 years, and says, okay, let's see what you guys can do. In our day and age in the Marvel Universe, heroes are everywhere. There's literally thousands of them. But Avengers Twilight asks the question, what would happen if all of them got taken away? What happens when they're no longer needed? How will the heroes cope? Steve Rogers has always been a fish out of water in the Marvel Universe. But this story takes place even further in the future. He's really hopeless. I love the central theme of the book being resilience because we've seen these characters time and time again come up against the biggest, baddest guys and win. They've all been the epitome of youthful strength and idealism. But this time round, they're all being crushed under the burden of time and aging. Yet they still find something deep inside to stand and face despair head on. Avengers Twilight not only tells an engaging superhero story, but it also reflects on the broader questions about society, morality, and the enduring relevance of heroism. It challenges readers to consider the importance of legacy and the enduring need for hope in a changing world. If you like stories like DC's Kingdom Come, I think this will go down as Marvel's version of that. It even has the brilliant Alex Ross on the cover art. In my opinion, this is an instant classic, well deserving of your time. At only 6 issues long, you'd be a fool to skip this one. Overall, I would give Avengers Twilight a 10 out of 10. It's by far my favourite book this year, without a doubt. And if you don't feel like reading it, I've done videos on every issue going through every detail, or I did a combined video with all of them in one, if you want to check it out. It's on my channel right now. But yeah, do not pass up on this one. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed my take on the best comics this year from each of the top publishers. Obviously these are my opinions, so feel free to agree or disagree in the comments. I'd be happy to talk about it. But yeah, let me know if you like this style of video. I usually do going through like one issue of a comic and telling you every detail about it. But for my New Year's resolution, I've decided to change up my content. If you don't like it, please let me know. And if you do, let me know in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.